This is a CBS News special report. I'm Nate Burleson in New York. President Biden is about to make a statement at the White House. He will talk about the protests on college campuses over the war in Gaza, including the clearing of a protest camp at UCLA overnight. Here is the president speaking now.
North Carolina, I wanted to speak a few moments about what's going on our college campuses here. We've all seen the images, and they put to the test two fundamental American principles. The first is the right to free speech and for people to peacefully assemble and make their voices heard. The second is the rule of law. Both must be upheld. We are not an authoritarian nation where we silence people or squash dissent. The American people are heard. In fact, peaceful protest is in the best tradition of how Americans respond to consequential issues. But neither are we a lawless country. We are a civil society, and order must prevail. Throughout our history, we've often faced moments like this because we are a big, diverse, free-thinking, and freedom-loving nation. In moments like this, there are always those who rush in to score political points. But this isn't a moment for politics. It's a moment for clarity. So let me be clear. Peaceful protest in America. Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is. It's against the law when violence occurs. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest. Threatening people, intimidating people, instilling fear in people is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Dissent is essential to democracy, but dissent must never lead to disorder or to denying the rights of others so students can finish the semester and their college education. Look, it's basically a matter of fairness. It's a matter of what's right. There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos. People have the right to get an education, the right to get a degree, the right to walk across the campus safely without fear of being attacked. But let's be clear about this as well. There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students. There is no place for hate speech or violence of any kind, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or discrimination against Arab Americans or Palestinian Americans. It's simply wrong. There's no place for racism in America. It's all wrong. It's un-American. I understand people have strong feelings and deep convictions. In America, we respect the right and protect the right for them to express that. But it doesn't mean anything goes. It needs to be done without violence, without destruction, without hate, and within the law. You know, make no mistake, as president, I will always defend free speech, and I will always be just as strong in standing up for the rule of law. That's my responsibility to you, the American people, and my obligation to the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, have the protests forced you to reconsider any of the policies with regard to the region?
No. Thank you.
Mr. President, do you think the National Guard should intervene?
No.
Mr. President, do you agree with what the students are calling for?
Mr. President, the former president said that
Well, it seems like the president is not taking questions right now. Let's go to Ed O'Keefe at the White House. Ed, while we have you, we understand the president spoke about the differences between violent protests and, of course, peaceful protests. Was that the only thing that prompted him to speak out about these college campus protests specifically?
Yeah, Nate, it's been a little more than a week and a half since he took a question from reporters even about these ongoing protests across the country. And at that time, he just briefly condemned anti-Semitic protests. In this case, however, now, after we've seen images across the country in New York, Wisconsin, and this morning in Los Angeles of campuses being cleared by police with protesters either refusing to go or having caused vandalism or violence, the White House felt compelled to have him come out and speak this morning. They had announced yesterday that he plans to give a more formal address next week about the rise of anti-Semitism since the October 7th attacks in the Middle East, but now this morning felt compelled given the images that we've seen overnight in the Los Angeles area. You heard there at the end, you got to watch him until he leaves the room, and in that case there, he said there will be no change in U.S. policy towards what's unfolding in the Middle East, and he does not agree with those, including Republicans in Congress, who have called for the National Guard to be deployed to protect campuses and Jewish students who are trying to finish the academic year. We'll see if he has anything more to say either today or in the coming days if these protests continue and if police feel compelled to continue breaking them up. But again, we've seen them in New York, the swing state of Wisconsin, which he has to worry about, out in Los Angeles, and he knows that those that are protesting are, in many cases, inclined to ultimately support Democratic candidates. So you saw him, like we've seen university presidents across the country, kind of tiptoe across that rhetorical balance beam of protecting free speech, but also concerns about potential violence caused by either anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or attacks on Arab people across the country. It's a tricky balancing act for him, as it is for universities across the country.
All right, Ed O'Keefe at the White House, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Let's go to Carter Evans, who has been at UCLA for the past several hours as police cleared protesters from their encampment. The president said you have the right to education, you have the right to protest peacefully, but you do not have the right to cause chaos. And Carter, that's exactly what you saw over the last few hours.
Yeah, we saw a lot of chaos here. The protesters in the encampment would say, though, that most of the chaos was directed at them, that they were peaceful, although there was some resistance when police did show up. So, and also, this is the center of campus here, and this is blocked off for more than a week. So this is a public place, and people did not have access. Schools, classes are out. People's right to speak may not have been infringed within the encampment, but they prevented other people from carrying out their duties as Americans as well. And so that is the main concern here. It's not a matter of free speech, but more a matter of lawful free speech. And you can see what is going on there. This is police officers moving the campers out. They moved in slowly overnight. Initially, they launched several flashbang grenades into the campers area, and then they formed a skirmish line and slowly pushed through and pushed those campers out. It took a couple of hours to do it, but finally all of them left. And right now behind me, they're still clearing out this area because they left it open, and some of the campers actually started coming back and going through some of the items here. So they've now cleared it out again, cordoned off the area. They're going to clean everything up and try and get it open again. Nate?
Carter Evans, thank you so much. We appreciate the coverage. I mean, you really had boots on the ground, allowing us and our viewers to see exactly what was happening on the scene. We'll check in with you later. Our coverage of the campus protests will continue on our streaming channel, CBS News 24/7, and our local news channel, and tonight on CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell. Many of you will return now to CBS Mornings. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm Nate Burleson, CBS News, New York.